Hello class, you have been asking for a project and I finally found one. This is called the Kente Cloth Design Math Project. You will be doing this and will go in as a project grade, meaning that it is counting just as much as a test grade. So it is in your best interest to try to do well on this and make sure that you do what is asked of you. Now, first, it starts off by giving you some background information on what a Kente cloth is, and where it originated. Then it talks about the colors right here using Kente cloth, and you will need to think about that when you're finishing up your project. Now, talking some specifics on how to get started. For this project, we use both your first and last names in your design. To build a design, you use the coding system below. So if you look, you have the numbers 0 through 10, and you have different letters below them. Okay, so that means that A, L, and W are all represented by 0. B, M, and X is all represented by 1, and so on and so on. So you're going to follow this example code for both your first name and last name. You're going to write your first name vertically. So this person's name is Irene, so they wrote Irene, and then the first letter of their first name. And then in the second column, they're going to continue spelling their name and starting over until they have the same amount of numbers on both sides. Okay, once they have that, you can go ahead and use the code to come up with the ordered pair that you're going to use. So for example, this person Irene had I and R, so I was an 8, and then the R is a 6, so she has the coordinates 8, 6 for her first point, and she goes through and does all that for all the ordered pairs given her first name. And then she does the same thing for her last name. Again, you're doing your full last name and then the first letter of your last name. And then you're going to continue spelling your last name on the second column. And so you should have exact same amount of letters on both sides so that you'll have ordered pairs. Now, once you've done that, now you're going to start creating your design. Graph paper has been provided for you. And you're going to, once you graph your points, you can connect the points with the line segments as you go. So as you're going through it, you're going to connect your points in the order that you plot them. And then the second bullet point, you're going to reflect all the points and segments across the y-axis into quadrant 2. So it's telling you what line to reflect over and what quadrant you should end up in. Then you're going to reflect all the points across the origin in y equals negative x. And if you've done this correctly, you should have all your points should end up in quadrant 3. And then you're going to reflect all of those points across the x-axis, and if you've done it correctly, it should be in quadrant 4. Now, the part that a lot of people don't like is you need to color your design to reflect your personality using the Kente cloth symbolic meanings of the colors as your guide. So up here is what it's talking about, where it talks about the different colors and what those mean symbolically. So you need to pick some colors that are representative of who you are as a person in order to do that section. Now on the back of your Kente cloth design or on a separate sheet of paper, you need to write all the ordered pairs used in your design. And the name examples is an example of how you need to do that. You need to make sure you have your pre-image, then your reflection across the y-axis, then your reflection across the origin, and your reflection across the x-axis. Now, make sure your name is on the work. But one of the great things is you have a rubric right here. So once you get done, you should be able to grade yourself and see what you earned. And as a matter of fact, I would like for you to actually grade yourself so that I can see what quality of work you felt that you did. This will be turned in. You will you need to continue to work on this every day. You have classwork assignments for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and if you finish those assignments in class, you can work on this if you have extra time. But other than that, this should be completed outside of class time unless you finish your classwork early each day. This is due on Monday of next week, so you do have a little bit of time to do it, but understand that this project is primarily to be completed at home. You will not get class time next week to work on it. Thank you, good luck, and I guess congratulations on getting a project.